he's like, I'm walking down this alleyway and I'm going to look over here dramatically.
That's good. That's pretty good.
Like, oh, Ben Reilly.
Oh, I love it. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. You know what else I love?
What's that?
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Pixel It. My name is Kevin. With me, as always, is Phil. And on today's show, we're finishing FNAF, the Twisted Ones. That's right. We're
Bada bing,
finishing
bada
it,
boom.
baby.
Yes.
Remember when there was an era where we would just like kind of just fucking go and be like, I guess we're going to stop here for tonight. And the books would take however long they took.
They took however long they took. Our first ever, I think about the fact that we had 5 episodes for the first Resident Evil book, which is super easy to wrap up in 3.
Yeah.
But we had a lot to say, so I think that had something to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're kind of just, we're just feeling it out. And then we made a ruling, 3 episodes or less. Honey buns.
It's going to have to, I remember when you suggested that and you said, tell me what you think. I think we could get these wrapped up in 3 episodes for the most part. And I remember being like, you're nuts. You're fucking nuts, Kevin. We can't do this in 3. You're crazy. No, and it turns out most of these are 300 pages long, so it works out fine.
Yeah, they it seems like on average they're about 300 pages long. But even the long ones, we've been able to we just make the episode longer, and who cares?
Yeah, who cares? It doesn't matter.
For example, Cyberpunk 2077 and Warhammer 40K Fire Warrior.
Gabriel Knight.
Both, they were all dense AF books, but we still got through them in 3 episodes.
Oh, yeah. Because we respect your time, ladies and gentlemen.
We respect your time.
Damn right.
Even though we would like you to continue listening to us week after week.
Please.
And I guess we don't respect their time that much because...
We respect their time enough.
We respect your time enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We mostly respect your time.
I feel like my face is puffy from Halloween candy. I think I got.
Oh yeah, it's just.
Yeah, I'm just gotta lay off.
You need one of those
cold
freezer masks. Yeah. Just kind of relieve the swelling.
Yeah,
and start doing monologues from American Psycho.
Too much sugar in the past week. Sorry to say.
Must be nice. Some of us diabetics got to look at the fucking sugar-free candy that makes you shit your brains out.
Pants. You shit your pants.
No,
you can't trust a fart with that sugar-free.
You can't.
Shit.
You can't even come. You can't even wish upon a star. It's not. It's all over for you. You give that. Oh, it's bad. There was one I tried recently because what they've done is they found some sort of like, it's a naturally sweet but mostly sugar-free substance, which is like wax. It's like a wax almost.
Sure.
And so they've used that for like gummy candies and stuff like that. And it has, you'll get and they like to do it by the bag. They're like 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar. Go crazy, fat boy. Like they know who they're advertising to. And they had ones that were green apple, and I lost my mind because I love green apple candy, and I was so excited. I hadn't seen anything like that in the sugar-free section. And I'm halfway through the bag, and it's a modest bag. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's definitely a one-sitting bag. But I'm halfway through the bag, and I'm checking out the background, and it was, I believe, 93% of your daily fiber. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, it was actually in the 90-something percentile.
That is going to be a shotgun shit.
It was. I painted the toilet black. It was a nightmare. And I've got another bag of them, and I bought 2 bags of them. I got another bag that have just been sitting there, and I'm just waiting for a day when I've just had too much cheese and I'm all like plugged up.
You need a balance. It's like light side, dark side fighting in your intestines.
Yeah. It's like I chased a bottle of gin with half a pot of coffee. It is not pleasant. So
gin backs you up.
Gin makes you poop. Juniper is a diuretic.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so it's just fully.
So coffee and gin together. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody. Glad you guys are
Cheers.
listening.
Glad you're here to listen to that.
Nightmare.
You know. Yeah.
Join our Patreon, where I will start posting pictures after I have consumed bags of these sugar-free wax candies.
Honestly, yeah, I probably just gotta make a change in terms of how much sugar I eat anyway. I just gotta lay off. Gotta lay off the candy. You know,
it really gets you. It's a tough one.
It gets you. It's a tough one, and you never feel good after.
No,
You're like you feel good while it's in your mouth, and not even like once you start chewing it, you're like, this is a mistake. And you swallow it, and you're like, "This is a mistake.
This is an even bigger mistake." Yeah, absolutely.
But your fingers are already uncrinkling the next one.
Yeah,
You're just like the little. And
yeah,
I'm like,
I can have a little sugar here and there. Just I got to be smart about it and everything.
Yeah.
And I tell you though, there is no ecstasy greater than eating a full sugar cherry Jolly Rancher. And because that's the candy you get that afternoon. Yeah. I called that candy horrible names, just terrible, terrible things that would alienate and excite many of our listeners. And it's because I can't have it otherwise. So it really does make the absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of aspect of it.
Yeah, no,
real.
I get it.
But sugar's a monster. It'll get its goddamn hooks into you. Yeah,
it will get its hooks into you. So it's so 2024. That's my year. This is my year of actually. I'm announcing it on the podcast.
Oh, so we can hold you accountable.
This is the year that Kevin gets in shape enough to go upstairs without getting winded.
Oh boy, yeah, one day. I'm right there with you. One day.
This is the year where I stop being in pain because I slept slightly awkwardly. You know, I'm gonna maybe do some yoga, maybe stretch it out, get these limbs a little bit looser.
Yeah,
you know,
stretch it out a little. Yeah, I respect that. I think that's great. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. You know what else is a great idea?
What's that?
We already did the intro.
We did that already. Yeah,
we did that already. But finishing this book is a great idea.
It is a great idea, actually, for a lot of reasons.
So we're going to put the body in the marsh.
Let's do it.
When I tell you to dump a body in the marsh, you dump them in the marsh.
We start with chapter 11. And Clay and John rush off to find Charlie and drive to a nearby field, predicting where the animatronics went. And Jessica shows up and points out that if the animatronics already have Charlie, they wouldn't be going in that direction anymore. And you know what? Jessica, you're spot on.
She earned her keep.
She earned her keep with that
one.
Did
not see that coming.
Did not see that coming. She's like, guys, you're an idiot. Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah. So they're like, Clay is like, we'll do a perimeter. And at this point, I'm like writing in the margin of the book, we'll be like, God, Clay, what if you just had a local police force that could do something like that?
Wouldn't that be crazy, Clay? Wouldn't that be nuts? I kept expecting there to be at some point in this book where he had to come clean and be like, I'm not a cop anymore. I got
not a cop anymore.
I shot a teenager, and they said
cop for a long time. Shot a teenager. It's basically the plot from I shot a kid.
Yeah,
he had a gun. It was dark. I couldn't see.
Yeah. That would be, but that would run the risk of being more interesting. We gotta watch that.
Gotta watch that. Yeah. Can't imagine Clay as Al Powell.
No. Truly cannot. No.
Truly. Reginald Val Johnson, he is not. Anyway, Reginald Val Johnson is losing his mind dealing with these animatronics. And they're all going to, they're like, all right, no, we're not going to do the perimeter thing. We're going to go back to my house. So Clay, this middle-aged man, is taking teenagers back to his house. Stranger danger.
Yeah.
John has the plan to ask the animatronics, the old animatronics, and Clay was like, "Great, because I have them in my basement." And everybody's like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "Beg your pardon?" They get at Clay's house, and Clay is like, "All right, here's the thing. Betty left me because I had the animatronics in the basement, and I spent every night sleeping in front of the basement door in case they came out of the basement." And so she left. And I'm like, oh, well, I understand why she left then.
Yeah.
Because
on her side, as it turns out.
You have like an evidence locker.
Yeah. You are a cop. I can't believe we have to keep repeating this.
We have to remind you of this. That, you know. So she left, never came back. They go downstairs to see the animatronics, and eventually John is able to get them to respond. But they begin to make wild movements and gesticulations, and the group scuttles back upstairs.
Yeah.
And they hide from the animatronics as they come up and burst through the basement door, and then they follow their tracks outside and into the woods.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
Here we go. Chapter 12. Charlie wakes up inside of the Freddy that ate her as it is walking. She doesn't know where it's going, but she's trying not to be careful to make the spring locks go off.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the eyes of the Freddy rotate into its own skull and looks down its body at Charlie, which is a terrifying
That's
image.
some metal shit there. That's pretty fucking cool.
That causes Charlie to scream and move, and she triggers one of the spring traps, and it goes into her and like breaks her rib.
Yeah.
We cut to the gang is running through the woods, but they have lost the trail until it looks like a Freddy beckons them to follow. We cut back to Charlie inside the suit. It seems to be burying itself again, and the dirt is starting to fill the inside of it as it falls through the gaps in the suit. Charlie carefully extracts her arms from being caught in the spring traps, and after some very slow, intense moments, she gets out of the body and out of the hole and examines her injuries, only to realize that she is at a Fazbear's Pizzeria. She hears the voice somewhere in the place and realizes that this isn't the same Freddy Fazbear's. It's never been used. And she follows the voice.
She notices that the colors of the tablecloths are off.
The colors of the tablecloth are off, and there's no burn-in on the arcade machines.
Yeah.
Like
they're brand new.
They're brand new. They've just been sitting there. So she follows the voice and sees Balloon Boy. And she also seems to be exhibiting some concussion-like symptoms.
Yeah, she's not doing great.
She's not doing great. And then there's all these voices sounding like children as she runs back to the carousel, and after moments runs into another room, and it's filled with lifeless animatronics. And then she's attacked by the Freddy, the same Freddy as before that just ate her. It tries eating her again. And she tries to pull herself onto a pinball machine, but it gives way. And then John, Jessica, and Clay arrive. They see the children swarming. Jessica and Charlie realizes it's the lights. The lights are making the disorienting sound, the hallucinogenic sound. And Clay shoots out the lights, and the illusions go away. They need to get out. One thing I forgot to note, but it comes up later. While Charlie is walking around, she inadvertently knocks over a gas canister into a waterfall lake area. So there's gasoline in the water.
That's going to come up again. Yeah.
Chapter 13. Charlie and the gang catch up when the Freddy with the unhinged jaw bursts through the closet door and comes after them. Clay says to run, but then Jessica points out that these aren't possessed robots. There's no children inside of them. Just shoot them.
Just fucking kill them.
Clay puts 4 bullets into it before it goes down. The chip was destroyed and made the illusion fall apart. Each of the twisted ones has a chip inside of it that makes it look the part of an actual animatronic, but without the illusion, it's just like this weird like thing. It's the way it's described. It made me think of like the robots in iRobot.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah,
they're kind of plain looking.
It's like a real uncanny valley kind of aspect to them.
Yeah. Clay shoots at a Bonnie that is approaching and a wolf animatronic that is in the perimeter, but he runs out of bullets. Charlie screams, "Why did you bring me here?" to them. And then Dave / William Afton reveals himself as the one in charge. And he says, "Now call me Springtrap." And I have to say, so the ending of this book is not bad.
No,
but it has one fatal flaw, which is Jessica and Charlie found his body and called 0 authorities.
Yeah. It's like you couldn't even get a goddamn coroner out there. This is your fault. Like this is kind of your fault.
He like monologues about how he was trapped in that storage room, and then when they found him, they got him out, and now he can move around freely instead of just moving around and like looking through the eyes of the things that he is somehow psychically attached to.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like, it's like sci-fi and metaphysical mumbo jumbo bullshit.
Yeah.
That is mostly like, don't worry about it, you know?
Just don't worry your pretty little head over it too hard.
Don't think too hard, please.
Just come with us on this one. The description of him is pretty brutal too. He is rotting. There is careful attention paid to the gel of his eyes going bad, basically, like just the jelly, and it's fucking gross. I was like, that's a little hard for YA book. Like that's I was
that is hard. What are we classifying him as? Is he a revenant or a
some sort of revenant zombo with a consciousness, I suppose?
Lich? Is he a lich?
Not a lich, because maybe.
Hold on.
Kind of a punk ass lich.
Yeah, like a lich. What a lich would be in the modern world.
Yeah, not that scary, but terrible at the same time.
Because he also like had mental control over the kids.
Yeah,
spirits inside the robots. And these robots don't have anybody in them. He's just controlling them with his mind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I could see that argument, kind of a modern lich sort of thing. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A not cyberpunk lich, but
but I know where your head's at though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cyber YA lich.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay. 16-bit lich. I like it.
16-bit lich.
Yeah.
So after the monologue, Clay reveals that he had one more bullet. And I'm like, what kind of gun is Clay using?
Is it ever described? I had it in my head as some sort of revolver, but
so he shoots 4 times, and then 3, and then 1 more. So that's 8.
Yes, it must be. It must be something with a magazine or something like that.
Yeah, it's got to have a magazine, but then I guess a magazine of 7 with 1 in the chamber. I don't know, man. But why doesn't he have another magazine?
To what you just said about the Zambo aspect of it. Just go with it, baby. Just go with it. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know. So the thing is, ever since watching, you ever watch Archer?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. One of the things about Archer as a character is that he always points out how many rounds other people have fired. Like,
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
that's true. He does, yeah.
He's like, that gun's this gun, and it only like the magazine only carries X number of bullets, and you fired this many. And because of that, I like think about things like that.
I get that. Yeah, sure.
He's always aware of how many shots have been fired.
Right. That is such an action movie thing too. Like they even did that in the Dark Knight, I think. The very beginning with the Joker and the bank heist and stuff like that. That is such a counting. Yeah.
Counting
Sorry,
the
I
bullets.
just completely lost train of thought there.
Counting
It's such a counting.
And then the fake sugar that you've been eating, starts coming out.
Yeah, just lifts me off of the ground with its force. See, the moment we start talking about me shitting myself, I gain all traction again. I'm right back in the game.
He's back, baby.
I'm back, baby. What is my life? Okay.
So, what happens? Where the fuck are my notes? All right. So Clay is like, I got one more bullet, and he shoots Springtrap, and that knocks him down, and tells the kids to run. They get to the other side of a waterfall, thinking the animatronics wouldn't be able to cross the water, but they can because
totally
Afton, I guess, was a better inventor. He
it's certainly implied. Yeah.
Clay, so once the animatronics are in the water, Clay lights the water on fire because of earlier when Charlie accidentally knocked gasoline into the water.
Yeah.
And the animatronics catch on fire and begin to burn and melt and all that shit.
Yeah.
Springtrap is like basically Skeletor's on out of there.
Sure. Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, it really does. You can hear the sound. It's yeah.
Yeah. Charlie gives chase. They're in a cave now, like a fake cave that's in there, I guess. And there's all sorts of weird shapes and monsters. And Charlie realizes it's another transmitter giving her hallucinations. Outside the cave, the gang is looking for another way into the cavern when the twisted Freddy comes back and the melted Bonnie and Wolf stand up. Their electronics are exposed but intact, and Clay has no more bullets.
This time for real.
Meanwhile, Charlie is in the cave and is distracted by some glowing mushrooms that happen to be real. And then Springtrap grabs her by the neck and begins crushing her windpipe. But she manages to like kick and wriggle free, and she's like, I've been doing sit-ups, bitch.
Yeah, she literally says that. Not bitch, but the rest of it. Just, we've all got secrets. Mine is that I've been working out. Like, it's okay. I didn't realize that. I knew that in the world it was the mid-90s. I didn't know that the book was also written in the mid-90s. So, good to know.
The three outsiders surrounded, and it looks like curtains for them. And then the real Foxy, Chica, and Bonnie come in and save the day and destroy the shit out of the Afton robots and then slink away into the shadows. Okay.
Yeah. What the fuck? Okay, sure.
Charlie's running down the passage as Springtrap gives chase. She finds a metal spike in the ground and then stabs him in the chest, asking him why he took Sammy. And he's like, so the gang then runs towards the mouth of the cave, and a horde of balloon boys come out to defend it. And then the real Freddy arrives and starts crushing them and attacking them and grabbing them and smashing them together. And we're like, it's like that moment. It's like that moment at the end of Jurassic Park.
Yes. You got raptors jumping all over the T-Rex.
They're running away from the raptors, and then the T-Rex shows up. There's the roaring and the banners coming down because the building's starting to fall apart.
Yes. When animatronics ruled the world.
They run past all that nonsense and enter the cave. Charlie is pressing Springtrap for answers, and he says he didn't take Sammy, he took Charlie. What? That doesn't
Which is
make
a very
sense.
vague thing to say. Yeah.
Vague thing to say. Are we going to find out what that means? Nope.
Fuck no.
Meanwhile, read the next book, fucko.
Yeah, exactly. Hope you got $12, kid. All right.
Meanwhile, Clay and the team arrive and say that the battle between the animatronics is going to bring the whole place down. As they make their escape, they got to keep coaxing Charlie the entire time to come with them. And Charlie is realizing that she starts to realize that this is the basement of the house she grew up in. Mm-hmm. And she finds a door that she has to try to open, but she can't open it. And John's like, Charlie, we gotta go. And she's like, but I gotta stay and do stuff. And John's like, no, Charlie, I love you.
Brings out the fucking nuclear weapons just like that.
Yeah.
Damn, John.
And Charlie's
Damn.
like, oh, okay. I guess I'll come with you.
I guess I'll live.
And she's like, okay. And then too late, motherfucker, because the evil Freddy grabs and tries to kill her. It pulls her inside of her again and closes around her. Everything is collapsing around them. The whole building's coming down. They try to get her out, and Jessica and John are holding hands. Her hands are like out of the animatronic somewhere.
Yeah,
and Clay, and like they're holding the hands, and there's like blood running down her arms and her hands. And Clay has like the cops then show up, and Clay has the cops drag the other kids away. And Clay is standing over the body, the animatronic, and John, as he's being pulled away, sees a dark-haired woman standing over the animatronic with Clay, and he notices that Charlie's hands are like limp, dead kind of looking. Chapter 14 kind of is a wrap-up chapter. Basically, the dark-haired woman was Aunt Jen. But they don't really know why she was like, how she got there. Why was she there at that exact time? It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
They're like trying to unpack what just happened. And are we going to get any answers? No.
No, not a single one.
Not a single one. So Artie shows up. He's like, we're going to start dating. And then maybe not dating, but, you know, she liked me. And John's like, yeah, sure, buddy.
Yeah,
I totally believe you.
It's very to bring up the film again, very the end of The Dark Knight with Bruce Wayne being like, we were going to be together. Of course you were, Master Wayne.
Of course
you were.
Sure.
I'm just going to take this little envelope and throw it in the file.
The letter that says, Bruce, I can't be with you, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be together, Alfred. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
The only way they could have made that scene better is if Bruce Wayne was like halfway through a bottle of scotch. That would have been fucking sublime. If we could see Christian Bale hammered out of his mind playing Bruce Wayne, I would have paid money.
Yeah.
I would have loved it.
Yeah, and then Michael Caine would have been like, very good, Mr. Wayne. And then Christian Bale would be like, oh, good for you. And how was it?
And how was it?
You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy.
We're digging up this corpse. We will not let you people forget what Christian Bale did to that man. Fuck Christian Bale and everyone who looks like Christian Bale. Which is admittedly a pretty small demographic.
Very small demographic. Like Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, about
Fuck him too. He was he was arrested on. He was like charged with battery once. He'd like beat his girlfriend.
Oh, I didn't know that. Shit.
Yeah, no, he's a piece of shit.
Kevin's in here to spill the tea. Hot damn.
Spilling tea, baby. Scalding hot tea. Yeah, I'll look that up and make sure that's an actual thing.
Let's not get sued for slander here.
Yeah. In print, it's libel.
Yes. That's your little tip for the day, guys.
That's your tip for the day. In print,
I'll
it's
enjoy
libel.
that.
Spoken, it's slander. Print, it's libel.
Yeah.
I remember that the definition forever because of J.K. Simmons in Spider-Man 2. I want to say.
I think it was
like
2. Yeah.
It was like, this is slander. It's not slander. It's preposterous. In print, it's libel.
That's right. That's a good line. That's a good line. He's so perfect in that part. God damn.
Oh, God. So Marla shows up. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, I heard about things. And they're like, this is like an indeterminate amount of time after they got pulled out. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, they don't really specify.
I don't know what's going on. And then there's a cliffhanger as a woman approaches the door of the diner that looks like Charlie, but isn't her. The end.
Dun-dun-dun.
That's the end
John
of the
does
book.
his like, that's not her.
That's not Charlie.
Yeah.
I've known Charlie biblically.
She lives in the trees.
She lives in the trees.
In the bush.
She's the fucking Lorax.
No, I was thinking Vietnam, but still.
Charlie in the trees. She speaks for the trees.
She
She's
speaks for the
Lorax.
trees. Yeah.
And William Afton is figuring on biggering and biggering his load.
Absolutely. That guy has got one gross load. That's all there is to it.
Jesus Christ. This is the grossest episode we've ever done.
Seriously. This is the most inappropriate we've ever been without a guest.
Yeah. Without a guest. Yeah, because otherwise we usually reserve it for when Jesse Garash is on the show.
If Jesse Garash is on the show, we lose our goddamn cool. I don't know why he brings out the worst in us. Jesse, you're here in spirit, baby. We miss you. Jesse's alive, by the way. I now realize that the way I said that sounded like it was like a rest in
he's
peace
very
moment.
much alive. Yeah, no, Jesse
Still with
is
us.
fine.
He's just not here. So
here,
just want to
physically at the moment.
clarify.
He's in Canada still, I assume. So that's the end of the book. What'd you think, Phil?
I liked it. I really think that as far as this series of books is concerned, after that first book, they kind of pulled out of an impossible nosedive. You know, is this on par with some of our with some of the better books we've read in this series, our Halos, you know, and things like that? No, but as far as a YA horror tribute to this really popular franchise, which is kind of difficult to make into a series of novels anyway, when you think about it.
Right.
Not bad. Like a real improvement over the first one. And I do think I stand by that in terms of not just comparing it to the first one.
Right.
I think if the first one was more like this, then we wouldn't have had nearly as much shit to talk.
Yeah. I think there's like a little weird, my issue with it is an improvement over the first one. It's fine as a book. I think my issue with it is, and it was worse in the first one, is like plot coherence and like characters doing things that don't make sense just for the sake of setting up something later. Like, Jessica and Charlie digging up a dead body and then not calling anybody about it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Which just seemed weird, and not providing any sort of an excuse for not calling anybody about it. They just leave it.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Leave a dead body out that the cops had been looking for.
This is someone else's problem. Admittedly, I'd probably do that.
I mean, I would do that. I totally get it. I would probably just be like, well, it would Stand By Me. It's based on the concept of
better go to my robotics class. I am not dealing with this.
Hey, do you want to go see a dead body? And then it's you and your 3 best friends go and see a dead body. And
Because
and
you grow and you learn something.
you grow and you learn something, and like one of your friends goes off to Vietnam after and dies.
Yeah, sure. But you don't know that at the time.
You don't know that at the time, but your voiceover from the future does know that.
For the record, I do plan on if I get a chance, if a doctor tells me like you've got so long to live, I do plan on that last month spending it in Vietnam so I could die there. So you can tell people Phil died in Nam. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think people would get a chuckle.
Yeah,
and that's how I want to be remembered.
I feel like I would appreciate, like my podcast partner. He died in Nam.
Absolutely, yeah. He died in Nam. That's such stolen valor that it almost comes full circle and becomes regular ass valor again.
It's like the horseshoe theory of stolen valor, you know?
Yeah. yeah. Almost. Yeah.
Can we have your dad on as guest and pitch this to him and see?
Absolutely not. Under no circumstances.
Under no circumstances. Can we ask the Colonel about stolen valor?
No, he'd probably be like, I don't give a fuck. Just, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah. You went to Desert Storm, whatever. Like, I don't care.
Oh,
a lot of fruit salad on your chest for somebody who's never seen combat. Real cool. Fuck it.
Fuck it, man. Going to Vietnam.
Fuck it, man. Let's go to Vietnam. Oh,
so,
God, I love this show.
That will go on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't quite get the inclusion of Marla at the end. I feel like it would have
real out of nowhere. Yeah.
Just felt a little out of nowhere. And also one of my consistent criticisms of the writing style is that I feel like the mind's eye of the locations that they're in is not thoroughly described in a way that totally makes sense. There's first of all, there's a fucking Freddy Fazbear's underneath their house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, wait, what? Like you step back from that. Wait, what? Why?
Can we cover that again? Can we go back?
Can we go back to that?
All right.
Is that part of the next book, which is called The Fourth Closet?
I think that's part of the genius of them speeding up the pacing the way they have, because it goes by so quickly you don't have time to go, wait, that doesn't fucking make sense. Like
sure.
I think that's they did that.
You cut out 100 pages, you can get away with a little bit more in terms of the
absolutely
leaps. You can kind of just breeze right by some things. And hey, listen, I'm all for just not explaining shit most of the time. But in some of these instances, it was just it just threw me for a little bit of a loop. But overall,
no, I get that.
Yeah, whereas the first book is like in the bottom tier of the things that we've read. This is not. This is definitively not. No. I don't know which tier it is, but it's not in the bottom.
yeah. This is not bottom. This is far from that level. So which is great. You love to see it.
You love to see an improvement, folks. We all love an improvement, folks.
Good effort.
Good effort.
Yeah. See me after class.
See me after. The first book was a see me after class,
that's true. Yeah, that was the true.
This one is nice improvement.
Yes.
C.
B minus. Absolutely.
B minus. Look at you smelling that wine like it's
so good. I'm drinking this bottle from Virginia, this winery called Veritas, and it's so fucking good. I've been holding on to it for a couple of years. And Virginia, it's lovely shit.
Lovely shit.
It's lovely.
Speaking of lovely, Phil, I only have one more question for you.
Okay, shoot.
Ooh, what are you playing?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I actually wrote it down. Well, first and foremost, I thought about the fact that my wife and I are having a son named Graham, and so I went ahead and played through and finished King's Quest V.
Beautiful.
Because I'm a sentimental old softy. It is everything you remember about it. It's just as goofy and dorky and fun and cute and also frustrating and insane that anyone should be expected to beat this game without some form of walkthrough. It is absolutely fucking coconut bananas that anyone beat this game in a time before the discussion board on Steam. It just makes it's insanity. So that was very pleasant.
Did Sierra
Love the voice acting.
have a hint line? Did Sierra have a hint line?
They did. They did,
Okay.
and I'm sure that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
But no, it's so nice. It's just a nice, pleasant way to spend a few hours. I love the voice acting. I love the animation style, the graphics. I even love the fact that everyone's got like red skin for some reason. It's just a lovely little trip down memory lane. In terms of new stuff that I played, though, I finished a game called The Many Pieces of Mr. Q. Have you heard of this?
I have not. The Many Pieces of Mr. Q.
This is a game. This is another short game. This is an indie studio. I'm not sure where they're from. They're not from around here. It is fully animated. So it's not Cuphead style, but it's that kind of thing where every frame is animated. It actually reminds me of like Plimpton cartoons, which were big when I was growing up as a kid. There's a very, very specific style to them.
Wow.
It's
Yeah, this
very
is really
silly,
neat.
very Looney Tunes-esque, and it's a point-and-click puzzle adventure game that has it also has like a 60s trip fest kind of quality, like Yellow
Sure.
Submarine to it.
Yeah.
And the story as it is you are Mr. Q, I guess? I'm assuming I'm Mr. Q.
The little yellow
They never
dude.
really pointed out.
Yeah.
And you're traveling through these weird situations, and about halfway through the game, you get cut into 3 equal parts, and the second act of the game is basically you trying to free you as the severed head of Mr. Q, trying to free your upper and lower torso through a series of puzzles and that kind of thing. And the ending is bizarre and bonkers. The whole game is bizarre and bonkers. I really enjoyed it. It's nuts, and I found it to. It took a couple hours to beat. I found it a little expensive for a couple of hours to beat, like $15, which whatever. That's all relative.
Sure.
I hate even bringing it up, but I always do it because that's important on some level, I suppose. But you've never played a game like this before.
Yeah.
It does-
Looks interesting.
Yeah, yes, it is a puzzle game. Yes, it is a point-and-click game. But I guarantee you've never played a game like this before.
I'm looking at at some of the screenshots where
Yeah.
it's like mixed media of like photographs and it
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
and it's like a very faint memory. And was it just on PBS, or was it on during Mr. Rogers of like a little cartoon dude, and he would be like walking around a cupboard and he would like go onto like a drinking glass or whatever.
Yeah,
what
I
the
remember
fuck
that.
is that? I tried Googling it a few different ways and I can't find it, but it's just.
Was that on the
you know-
Electric Company or
Was it Electric Company that did those? Or
I don't know. I don't know. But I know I have a faint memory of it in my head. That is so funny. Yeah. Well, it's got a vibe like that, but it's way more like an Eastern European cartoon where it's like, what the fuck is going on half the time? I do not speak your language, but I mean, if you're looking for something that is genuinely different, that is if you're looking for something for the craft, for the animation, for the art of it all, I can't recommend it enough. It's truly strange. It's a very, very strange experience. The Many Pieces of Mr. Q. I recommend it. Wild stuff.
Yeah, if anyone who is listening also remembers that fucking cartoon
Yeah.
dude, I'm pretty. It guarantee it was a public television thing. It was either Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Electric Company, or something like that.
Television cartoon.
There's nothing. Yeah, I can't. Public television, cartoon, mixed media.
Oh yeah, I got nothing here.
I'm getting nothing,
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one to search for.
Yeah, it is tough to search for. Anything that you put in there is going to bring up irrelevant results. And
yeah.
Oh my God, this is going to kill me for a while.
Hold on. Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, this is gonna require some research.
So if any of our listeners can reach out to us, pixelitpod at gmail.com. That's our email address, right? Pixelitpod at gmail.com. Yeah, please send it there. This is the first time in the goddamn show that I'm actually giving you folks the actual email address to reach out to us. I've given so many fake email addresses. It's for this because I can't remember what it was called. I only I can see it in my head.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is or what it's called. Just me
we need to know.
Front of a television in 1988.
Yeah. That is so fun. I have the vaguest memory of what you're talking about. Yeah, you're not crazy. I remember this. That's wild. Someone please tell us. We need to know.
Please tell us. We need to know. Okay, and that was aside from Mr. Q, is that it?
That was it. What have you played, Kevin?
I am currently playing. I'm finishing up Alan Wake 2. And it might sound like we recorded episodes 2 and 3 of this on back-to-back days. So, I was finishing up Alan Wake 2 yesterday. It's not a week of me finishing up Alan Wake 2. But in the meantime, I've started playing RoboCop Rogue City.
Take me away. Tell me everything. I need to know.
Peter Weller's back, baby.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Peter Weller and his gorgeous lips are back. My man has these lips that are just like you don't that's the thing about RoboCop is the only part of his face you see is his lower jaw and his lips.
Those.
But you know it's Peter Weller from the goddamn lips.
Yeah. They're expressive, goddammit. You need them there.
So it's a lot of fun so far. Like you can tell right off the bat, you can tell it's like, oh yeah, this is, double A as shit. This is the double A game through and through. That's what Teon or whatever the gaming company, that's what they make, and I'm fine with it. It has some like leveling up RPG elements. The way they do it is kind of neat because you go out, you do a mission, and you get graded on like the things like, did you recover all the incriminating evidence at the crime scene? If all the hostages survive, for example, you get a bonus.
Right.
If you recover all the evidence, you get a bonus, etc.
That's pretty cool.
And then you can use that and put it into points where it's like, all right, you put some into attack and you get like a smash attack where you can have like RoboCop like punch or stomp the ground and it causes like a shockwave and knocks everybody down. Or you can put it into
kind of thing.
Yeah, it has a little. You know what it is? It does have. It's like if it's Deus Ex without the ImSim elements.
Okay.
It's like a stripped down version of Deus Ex. You could still like you're at the Detroit Police Department. You can go around and you talk to other cops, and they can be like, "Hey, hey Murphy, can you help me with this thing or whatever?" Or hey Robo, can you help me open my locker? It's stuck. Shit like that.
Right.
Or it's like the line out the front door to report shit is out. It's like out the front door. Can you man the desk for a little bit and like talk to and as people come in, you talk to them and they ask you things, and like you're given a couple options on how to respond, and it's like you have to serve the public trust. Yeah, I am RoboCop. I am here to serve the public trust. And so like doing that might mean a couple different things. Like there's like one time where this guy comes in and he's like, hey, there's a bonus on those wanted posters for like turning in a criminal. And you're like, affirmative. And he's like, all right, well, I'm turning him in. And you're like, where is he? And it's like, oh, it's me. I'm turning myself in for the bonus, for the money. And like you have an option on like how you can respond to him. You could be like,
you know what? Ballsy.
You could be a robot. You could be like an asshole and be like, you're going to jail, scumbag. Or you can be like, you could plead for a reduced sentence. So if you're nicer as RoboCop and like still within the narrow parameters of who RoboCop is supposed to be, if you are like kind of like nicer about things, it gives you a little bit of a bonus, you know?
Okay.
Like
I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge RoboCop guy, but this sounds fascinating.
It's a lot of fun, and you could go into like scanner mode. So they call it an anti-movement shooter because he's RoboCop. He doesn't move fast.
Right.
He moves along at a pace, you know? He can walk, and he can walk faster. He doesn't run.
No running for him, no.
And you could go into like scanner mode, and as you're doing that, like the outlines of all the enemies like will go and there's like points you can put into reaction where it's like, oh, you can go into slow-mo. So you can so it slows everything down and you can shoot, and it's like you get to a certain number of points in reaction, and it's like for every headshot you get in slow motion, it extends the duration of slow motion.
Cool. Fucking cool. Why not?
Fuck it. So it's a lot of fun. I've been playing. I started on hard, and that feels like the right balance for. It's like under the descriptions, it's like if you're used to first-person shooters, hard is probably going to be the most satisfying one for you.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that felt pretty balanced. You know, I had to use the healing items as I went through the first mission. So, yeah, no, that's what I've been playing.
That sounds great. I gotta check that out.
Yeah. So that'll do it for tonight's episode. Phil, do you have a website that people should go to?
Oh, you're talking about patreon.com/pixelitpod. You should
I sure
check
am.
that out. Yeah, you should check that out, where you can join any number of tiers, including free tier, where you can just be a part of the damn community, or you can throw a shekel or two our way and make it so that you get special, exclusive, all-consuming, beautiful, change your life bonus content.
It's
beautiful.
Boner
it's
content.
Boner content.
Hey.
We're starting an OnlyFans. And so, check it out. Patreon.com/pixelitpod. Do it today.
Or go to pixelitpod.com and it'll redirect you right over there.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Bingo, bango, bongo. And that brings us to the show where we thank our patron, who is at the highest level. Friendly friend. Thank you for being a friend.
Bless your soul, friendly friend. We love you, man.
Thank you for being a friend. I didn't sing it last time, but I'm singing it this Your heart is true. You're a friend and a confidant.
See? Come on, people. Don't you want to be a part of this? Don't you want to be a part of this? Have your name said?
A party.
We'll be sway and sing.
And invited everyone you knew.
We all know it.
It's would true. See the biggest.
You could be a part of this too.
Me, and the card on top would say, "Thank you for being a friend."
Thank you for being a friend.
Dun, dun, dun,
Boom.
Dun, blue. And then
that's you, friendly friend.
And then Blanche comes on and says, "Where is it?" Yeah, Blanche Dubois, the horny one. She comes on and says something about, having sex with a guy last night. And
Yeah, she gets all horny. And then the old lady tells a story about Sicily. It's genius. Don't fuck with the formula. It's perfect.
Don't fuck with the formula, Just fire up some Golden Girls and have yourself an evening.
You're going to have a blast.
You're going to have a blast. I guarantee it. You don't have...
It holds up. My wife and I have been watching it every now and then. It holds up. It's still fucking funny.
It is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's a good show.
It's a good show. Relatively progressive for its time. Even if they did write off... So. Yeah. They wrote off the gay character almost immediately.
Yeah, but they tried... I think they tried to kind of make up for that over time.
Yeah. Because, it's Miami in the 1980s. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
What do you think you are? Come on. Anyway, that'll do it for tonight's episode. Stay away from the sugar-free candies out there. Please. If you don't need to eat them, because they'll make you poop your pants. It'll hurt you. It'll hurt you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.